Welcome back, you Inglorious Bastards and Magnificent, for a second time today,
It
because my dumb
has
ass forgot to put on
begun.
my, the camera wasn't, the sound wasn't working.
Winning.
It
No.
wasn't hooked in, the sound wasn't working, it wasn't set up right. I mean, I did take everything apart and put it all back together. It may look kind of the same, but everything's, like, I'm, like, super douched my room like they do with the, like, Sergeant Major comes and he does the, to see if it's, like, clean.
That's how winning is done.
It had to be done. Every once in a while, you had to be a man. I'm on that kick, that order of man kick, where I'm like, I got the 13-week battle planner, 12-week battle planner, and I'm hitting it. I'm hitting it like hit hard every day. I wake up at 4, exercise, walk the dog, eat real food that I cook myself. I clean. I I write my book. I do this podcast. I get more. I've gotten more done in the last week than I have in the last 2 months, and it makes me feel fucking awesome.
Winning.
But anyway, we're going to talk about a couple of things today. We're going to talk about, let's get my notes going. We're going to talk about Supreme Court ruling in favor of guns. We're going to talk about Steven Crowder suing YouTube on behalf of banning views of half the country. So it's not just for himself. I think he's starting a class action lawsuit. Former Green Beret Tim Kennedy thinks the school system's fucked up, and I agree with him. So he's going to open a private school to try and unfuck that mess. And the Navy admits that the recent UFO footage of them around UFOs is real. Like, it is absolutely fucking real. Um, but before we get into the actual podcast, I'm gonna take some time to ask you guys to please like, share, subscribe, leave a review, remind, whatever you can help. Like, it really helps if you go leave a review. Like, if you pause this right now, go to Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, leave a review for the podcast, and then come back and finish watching this.
That's how winning is
It'll
done.
help immensely. It helps boost us up in that algorithm and helps us beat that censorship machine. You can also, the best way to help is to go directly to our website, www.thatsonpoint.squarespace.com, and join the email list, become a member, and or buy the merch from the merch store, because then it's directly to us and you're supporting us directly. And that's just the best way to support us, is directly supporting us. It's how most people are going to survive. Tim Pool's doing it. Stephen Crowder has Mug Club. I mean, it's the only way you can combat this censorship machine, where some guy could just put the gavel hammer down, smash, and take away your whole fucking life.
Yeah.
With the merch store going, we get a new shirt up, the Like a Government shirt, and every month we're gonna give one away to a random subscriber. So they're gonna do that at the end of this month. So stay tuned for that. We're gonna reach out, get your size, your options, and things like that, so we can send it out to you and get going. If you can't wait, you can just go to the merch store. Link to that in the description below. And that's how we do it. It's Teespring. That's on point for others listening. And you can look us up and you can get the merch store there. And you can actually look at what the shirt looks like, because if you're listening, you can't see it. But that's it. But let's get into this actual story of the day, where we get the New Hampshire Public Radio. Supreme Court restricts police's authority to enter a home without a warrant. It's about fucking time you enforce the Constitution again. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled unanimously Monday against warrantless searches by police and seizures in the home in a case brought by a man whose gun office is confiscated a domestic dispute. Now, this is awesome, because the Supreme Court just, the gun control advocates, that's a huge win for gun control, for gun rights. It's unanimous. The very Judge Carr, yeah. So the very core of Fourth Amendment's guarantee is the right to a person to retreat in his or her home. There be free and unreasonable governmental intrusion. Justice Clarence Thomas wrote for the court. Yeah, Justice Thomas, getting it done. I like this dude. He's been like sprouting things about freedom and like all this nonsense for like the election and everything this entire time. The case involved a heating argument between a long married couple, Edward Kim Caniglia, and he brought out a gun and told her to shoot him out of his misery. Then after he left the house in a huff, she hid the gun and spent the night at the motel. The next morning, unable to reach her husband, she asked the police to escort her home because she was afraid that he might have harmed himself, because he fucking sarcastically told her to fucking end his misery in an argument. So the police, that's just retarded woman. You're fucking retarded. The police found the husband on the front porch and sent him to psychological evaluation. If you find a man just chilling on his front porch, you don't just send him to get psychological evaluation. You actually talk to him. You investigate him. You see if he actually needs to be evaluated. Then you send him to get evaluated. Later that day, doctors concluded he was not a threat to himself or others and released him immediately. Yes, they released him because he was not a fucking threat. He didn't even have to go there. That was a waste of motherfucking money.
Winning.
In the meantime, police have confiscated his guns and ammunition. So he sued allegedly. What? Like, why'd you take his gun and his ammunition? He hasn't been determined a threat yet.
Winning. No. You suck.
Okay, that's fucking bullshit. That civil forfeiture property is fucking garbage. This is why people are hating on the police. Like, I know I'm normally conservative, but when it comes to police, I'm fucking with the left. I'd rather fucking have my gun, and I'd rather Old West style the shit on the streets than have my constitutional rights violated by the Nazi enforcement force.
That's how winning is done.
The lower courts ruled that the police could enter the home and under the so-called the community caretaker exception to the Constitution's warrant requirement, and there is no exception to the Constitution's warrant requirement. If you want to make changes to the Constitution, you have to go through the constitutional process and amend that motherfucker. That's how it works. But Thomas, writing in a unanimous court, noted that the recognition that police officers perform many civil tasks in modern society was just that, a recognition that the tasks exist and not an open-ended license to perform them anywhere. What is reasonable for vehicles is different from what is reasonable for homes, he wrote. And I don't even fucking agree with that. I mean, it's the tactics are slightly different, but your vehicle is your property. It should be the same way. Warrant, 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 warrant. I have a right to be secure in my purses, places, papers, and things.
That's how winning is done.
I have a right to be secure in my persons, papers, like, oh my god, places and things. Like, I have a motherfucking right to those things. A fucking God-given inherent right that is not granted to me by the motherfucking government, state, local, or otherwise. I am fucking born with that motherfucker.
That's how winning is done.
And I am the only one that says whether or not you can fucking infringe that. And that's the Constitution takes your ability away. It tells you what you can infringe upon. So if you want fucking changes to that, you're gonna go to do it the fucking right way. I don't care how fucking long it takes. Because we're trying to get term limits, and we have 18 of 36 states, 39 states, and we've been going ham on it, and it's been going on for like a decade or whatnot, and we haven't gotten there yet. I don't care how fucking long it takes. There's a right and a wrong way to do things. Why have a goddamn process if you're just gonna fucking avoid it? I'm just fucking saying.